Welcome everyone, this is Master's Joke, also Master's Joke 75 on Instagram. So today I'm opening up Star Wars The Acolyte, one of the best Star Wars Disney Plus series I've ever seen. It's amazing. I don't care. I like the figures. I really like the Star Wars Retro Collection. It's my action figure of choice. And that's why I buy these boys, even though it wasn't a popular series. It was all right. I've only watched it once. I think I will give it a second watch, but you know, we all know it wasn't the best series, and a lot of it didn't make sense and kind of messed up the Star Wars canon. But I like the figures. This is Jedi Master Sol, and I thought he was a good character. I actually liked him in the series. One of the things though I do remember from the series is that the Trade Federation, who we remember from Star Wars, well, Episode 1, I think were they in all three movies? I remember they were in Revenge of the Sith because Anakin slaughtered them. But you know, we first met them in Star Wars Episode 1, and the Trade Federation, they actually, well, this is the weird thing. Jedi Master Sol, his accent sounds similar to the Trade Federation from Star Wars Episode 1, whereas the Trade Federation from the Acolyte don't sound anything like. They don't sound anything like the Trade Federation from the prequel trilogy. So, I mean, is that another example of where it's all gone mad? I mean, you know, and canon. I don't know. The fans, they don't. They wonder why these new series or ideas don't work. And it's when they start messing about with the canon and the kind of, you know, the movies, and it goes wrong. Do they think that the fans don't realise, you know, or don't remember what happened, you know? So, you know, all this wokeness has to stop. It really does have to stop. But it doesn't take away from these one. Look, I don't care. A lot of people said these are rubbish. I like these figures. I think they're really good. I think Jedi Knight Yord Vander, I thought it was a reasonable character, and it was a really good figure. I was really impressed. But Jedi Master Sol, I've got time for him. I really like the character. I think he's I think it looks like a decent action figure, and he's got a nice Jedi robes, which I think is similar to the Tusken Raider from the Book of Boba Fett, the actual material. But yeah, I'm going to get him up. I've got my my Moth Corridor in the background. Currently £50.80 on Amazon. I picked mine up on Amazon for like 50. It must have been like £51 or something. It might have been £50 something pence. But it really is a great playset. I think it's one of the best. I think it is one of the best playsets, and that's available today. It's Sunday today. I don't know what date it is, but Arsenal lost against West Ham yesterday, 1-0, and that's the end of. Let's be honest. That is the end of Arsenal's Premier League dream of winning it, and looks like Liverpool. I think Liverpool are playing Man City today, so it looks like Liverpool have done it. And it's my son's birthday next month, and I've got tickets for us to see Arsenal versus Chelsea. Was it 16th of Sunday, the 16th of March, I think it is. So yeah, I was hoping it was going to be a better experience, but yeah, it looks like Arsenal have lost any title hopes. But yeah, I can't remember what date it is today. Is it 20 something? But yeah, happy Sunday, everybody. But I'm going to open up Jedi Master Sol, and due to popular demand, I decided not to open these figures up like it was Christmas 1985. I didn't do that with Jedi Knight Yord, but due to popular demand, I'm going to open this figure like it was Christmas 1985. Talking of playsets though, I was tempted to pick up the Book of Boba Fett, Jabba's Palace, It was, I think it was £210 on Hasbro Pulse. Sold out a couple of months ago. Available again on Star Action Figures, but that's now sold out. So yeah, I was in two minds because it's such a big set. I just don't have the room for it. I don't want to start buying stuff that's just going to end up in the loft because I've got no room to kind of display it. So that was a tough one. I really did want that set, but wasn't to be. Whereas you buy your little moth corridor, and it just, you know, you can take it apart. You can, you can just put it anywhere, and that's what I like about these little mini sets. I think before this one, I think the Navarro Cantina. I know it's only like £25 now, isn't it, on Amazon, and I've seen it for cheaper. But the Navarro Cantina, it's just such a useful little set. I've got two of them. I've got it set up in the toy room with my vintage collection figures. It's just a bar scene, but I really do like these Hasbro play sets, and that's what I call it. They're play sets because they're for playing with your Star Wars figures. But back to Jedi Master Sol. I think it's a decent image on the front of the card. It's got the thicker card that they're using as well, so it's a big improvement on previous retro collection releases. Just need to do something about the back, because I love what they've done with the vintage collection, the actual back of the card backs, where you'll have the image of the figure, a little bit of information about the character, and the colour on the back will be the same colour as the pill on the front. I mean, imagine that. Imagine like a nice little thing about Sol on the back of this, with, you know, purple. I think it would look good, or something. They've got to do something. But yeah, I've decided to open the Jedi Knights first, and then we'll move on to the twins and their mum after. And you know, I'm not as excited about them, although I think I said it in the last video, May with her vinyl cape, the assassin, I think she looks really good. So I've got my Sol is balancing on my Star Wars mug. So there is only one way to open up these Star Wars retro collection figures, and it's like it was Christmas 1985. So let's do this. Right, this Sol in his little bubble, and yeah, I'm pretty certain that it's the same type of material that they used on the Tusken Raiders from the Book of Boba Fett retro collection. It's got his blue lightsaber as well. So let's get him out of the tray. The lightsabers, they're all the same, but we'll have a proper look at him, and then we'll set him up.
Your astute panic suggests that you understand your situation. I would prefer to avoid any further violence and encourage a moment of consideration.
Well, so here he is. I think it's it's the retro collection, but I think it's a decent facial sculpt on there. It doesn't look anything like the actor, but these figures never do. But it's all about imagination. That's what these figures were designed for. They were designed, well, the originals were designed for play, and this is a tribute to the original line. I don't start having a go because it's the Acolyte. I honestly, I think it looks great. He's got his little. I wasn't sure if he had the actual hood on there because it wasn't visible in the actual bubble. But I think he looks really good. And it's decent. It is thin material. I think it is the same as the Tusken Raider, but it's a nice. It's thin, but it's not cheap. It's a nice material for his cloak. And I love the actual outfit as well, because it's that kind of mustard yellow on the front, but it looks like a vintage Star Wars figure from the 80s that has kind of gone yellow on the front. I know it's got nothing to do with that, because this is the colour that the figures were, or not the figures, the characters were in the Acolyte. But honestly, it just reminds me of a figure that's gone yellow. But I love it. I like the back of his head with his kind of would you call it a man bun, or was that a little ponytail? But I like it. It's a brand new body sculpt, face sculpt. I love it. I think it's really, really nice. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set him up because I like his boots. I like his boots. I believe are different than any of the other. I mean, obviously this is 100 years before the Phantom Menace, but I like that his boots are kind of plain. They're not exactly the same as like Obi-Wan's. I'm sure they're different than Yord Fanda as well. But I'm going to get Yord out because he was the first figure that I opened, and we'll compare them. But let me put his cloak back on, and we'll put his, because the lightsaber, it's a blue lightsaber, it's exactly the same as all the others. So I'm going to set him up. We'll have a proper look, and then we'll compare him to Yord and just see what the difference is. Right, so here's Yord and Sol. I think they look really, really good next to each other. And I was right. Where you've got Sol's boots, which are kind of smooth, Yord's have got a bit of detailing on there. So I'm just gonna take the cloaks off, just so you can kind of compare the two kind of costumes. So they've still got that yellowing effect from the 80s, and I just like it. I just think it's I just think it's a nice touch. I know it's, you know, it's got nothing to do with the 80s. They just happen to have the same kind of mustard colour as the costumes from the series. But I think it works well. It's a bit of nostalgia. We've all had figures that have kind of turned a bit yellow at the front or the back. So I do like that. But yeah, I think they're decent. I think they're both decent looking figures. And as you can see, there's Sol's lightsaber, which is exactly the same. They're all the retro ones are exactly the same, based on the originals. And that's the other thing. I've mentioned about the vinyl capes. Now I think, well, obviously I need to open her up. I really think that Assassin May, her vinyl cape looks perfect. It's in purple. It really, really works. The cut of it, it just looks really good with the figure. But I see these Acolyte figures as being after Return of the Jedi. I mean, obviously it is after Return of the Jedi, but the actual I know they're based on the originals, but I see it as after Return of the Jedi. And an example of that is the lightsabers. I mean, we didn't see these lightsabers until Empire Strikes Back, from a toy point of view. So why? Well, I suppose Empire Strikes Back, Princess Leia, she had a vinyl cape, so did Lando. But I kind of see these as after Return of the Jedi. So I expect them to be a little bit more like the Return of the Jedi figures than the original, Star Wars: A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back figures. Because, in my opinion, the Return of the Jedi figures, they just got that little bit more better. The actual sculpting, they were still the basic 5PO8, but they were different. If you look at Return of the Jedi compared to the original line of figures, they're just a different standard, almost as if Kenner upped their game. And I just feel that these all the retros are kind of after Return of the Jedi. They're not before, unless, for example, with this new wave of retro collection figures, which are based on A New Hope, I'm happy for them to kind of be basic with vinyl capes and all that, because they're supposed to be from that era. I don't know, it's just my opinion, and it means, my opinion means nothing. But I'm really happy with these. The cloaks are brilliant, and I I'd have to get the same as because the thing is, say what you like about the Acolyte. This isn't about the Acolyte. This is about the actual action figures, and I love the retro collection. I've got every single figure that's been released. I gave Jedi Knight Yord Founder. I gave him 10 out of 10, and I'd have to say the same for Sol, because it's a brand new sculpt. He can hold his weapon. He ticks all the right boxes, and I like the character as well, and I love Jedis. So yeah, definitely 10 out of 10 for Sol, and I'm really glad I picked these figures up, even though Amazon, the day after these box sets were delivered to my house, Amazon was selling the whole set for like £50, I think, or £51, something like that. And I was a bit disappointed that I waited all this time for when I could have bought it from Amazon or bought it from In Demand Toys. But one of the risks with Amazon is if you're buying action figures to keep on card, that they're likely going to be bashed to bits, and that's the risk you take. It's a shame that that you've got to run the gauntlet with Amazon, but if you know where you stand, that's fine. So it's always a bonus if you get an action figure from Amazon and it comes in one piece. It's always a nice surprise, a nice bonus. But I wanted to keep the box, and I wanted a set to keep on card as well. So I'm really happy with these figures. I would definitely I definitely highly recommend them. I just want to put the capes back on. But yeah, honestly, I am genuinely really pleased with these, and it just shows that that Hasbro are listening to the fans. And I know a lot of people, they say, "Oh, just stop making them and concentrate the money on the vintage collection." And I love the vintage collection, but I love these bad boys more. I just think they're great. So 10 out of 10, highly recommended. Proper quality from Hasbro. Honestly, they've done a good job, and I'm looking forward to opening the rest of the figures. But as I said, the next figure I'm going to be opening is Jedi Padawan Jackie Lon, and honestly, I thought she was good. I thought she was good in the series. Was she attracted to one of the twins? I think she might have been, but that's Jedis aren't supposed to have relationships, are they? You know what I mean? Whether it be what I'm saying. So I don't know why they have to keep throwing this in. Similar to kind of Doctor Who as well. It's it'll be the death of the franchise if they keep allowing it to happen. But anyway, 10 out of 10. Let your eyes be your guide. Still available. Is it going to be a collector's item? I don't think so. I can't see this Acolyte box set being sought after in years to come. Like, for example, the Return of the Jedi box set with Mon Mothma and Yak Face. Can't see it. Similar to the Episode 1 box set, which I love it. I absolutely love the prequels, and I love the retro collection box set. But you can buy that now for £29.99 on Star Action Figures. It's a great set. I'd love to get some more battle droids, because I think the battle droids were great in it, as well as I love Jar Jar Binks as well. I think he was a good. Oh, and also Darth Maul. In fact, I love all the figures. I absolutely love all the figures. But yeah, the Darth Maul. I was looking at him the other day. I used the Episode 1 equipment pack to kind of accessorise him. So he's got like his cloak and he's got his binoculars. Looks great. But anyway, that is the end of the video. As I say, Jackie Lon is coming next. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It lets me know you care. Also helps the channel. Thanks for all the comments. I'm a bit behind because I've been a bit busy. I've been a bit busy the last this last week or so. If you watch my last Hot Wheels video, the fence panels are in the garden. Well, the fence panels are in the back garden. It took me ages to dig out the concrete and the old rotten fence post. That took hours. I had to use an axe in the end to kind of get the last of the old fence post out. But it's a bit windy. It's a bit windy today to set a fence post. So that's a job probably for tomorrow. But yeah, that is the end of the video, and I'll see you in the next one.